So I'm thrilled to be here today and talk about the InterNACHI Inspection Warranty. I've enjoyed speaking to many inspectors over the last few months, answering the questions, getting some great questions. We've compiled all that information. And let me just talk a little bit about myself and Elite. My name is Kathleen Kuhn. I've been in the home inspection industry for 35 years. My husband is a home inspector. My son is a home inspector. My father actually was founded a company called Housemaster, which was the first company to franchise in the home inspection industry in 1979. So we've really been, which we sold that company in 2020. We've really been, at the early stages of the industry, and I'm excited to talk about the inspection warranty because I'm a big believer that we had a program that I launched prior, and actually reached out to Elite and asked them, knowing that they were really the leaders in risk management for home inspections. I met Joe Denlier at a conference and asked them if they had ever had an interest in doing an inspection warranty. And they said, we really have, but we really didn't have anybody that could run it and could really understood it and help administer it, put the marketing tools together. So it's really been a great pleasure to work with Elite, and I'm very proud of what we've been able to do for the InterNACHI Inspection Warranty. I don't know if Joe's on the webinar tonight, but he's kind of my partner in crime when it comes to the warranties here. Most of you probably know Joe. He's got 24 years. Oh, there he is. Hey, Joe. He's connecting word. There he is. So Joe is, as most of you know, a leading expert, if you will, on risk management for home inspectors. He's been defending home inspectors for over 25 years, very successfully. So he's the perfect asset, actually, for a program like this. I don't know, Joe, if you want to just say hello.
Hi, everybody.
There
Can you
you
hear me
go.
okay?
We
Perfect.
can.
I had to move rooms. That's what took me so long to log on. So
No worries. Okay, so our agenda tonight is pretty loose, but we're going to go over the plan details. There's 3 great plans to choose from. We're going to talk a little bit how the competitive review that we did. We really extensively looked at the programs that were available in the marketplace. So we'll answer how our programs differ from those. We'll review the marketing resources to help you go out and promote the program. I'll touch on the operational overview, so how to register warranties, and then we'll spend lots of time on questions answered. So I put together the most common questions that I get. I'm sure the gang will have a few more. So the whole concept really is that this is a no surprise inspection warranty. Inspection warranties have been popular, but there's been a lot of gotchas in there. And the timing really couldn't be better. The home buying process has gotten more challenging due to market conditions. And the last thing a new homeowner who probably had a fight to get into the home that they've purchased needs is an unexpected repair expense in those first few months of home ownership. But things can happen. A water heater that was working fine on the inspection can start to leak, for example. Well, here's where the InterNACHI Inspection Warranty is really the perfect option to inspire confidence in your services, in the home purchase itself, and protect the client and yourself from those unforeseen expenses. So there's 3 great plans to choose from, and I'm going to go into each one of these and the specifics there. So let's first talk about the InterNACHI Basic Plan. So this is $12. There's no deductibles and no service fees. It does cover appliances up to 10 years old. So any appliances that have been inspected in working order, it would cover them up to 10 years. For systems, water heater, and HVAC, the limit is 12 years. So beyond that, there is no coverage. But if the appliance is under 10 years old, or the water heater or HVAC is under 12 years old, it would be covered. It does not include any coverage for mold or roof. Most claims are between $500, or claim payout, if you will, are between $500 and $1,000. And the aggregate is $2,000 a plan. And what that means, if there's multiple claims under one plan, the maximum the plan will pay out is $2,000. So it's a good basic plan at a very competitive price. The most popular plan is the InterNACHI Pro plan. And there's, again, no deductibles, no service fees. There's no limits on age for appliances or systems. Mold is covered up to $2,250, so $2,250 per claim. Most claims, structure, systems, et cetera, are paid on a per claim basis up to $2,250, so $2,250 per claim. The roof is the only sublimit, if you will, or the limited coverage, and that's the plan will pay out up to $1,000 for roof leak or roof water penetration claims. The aggregate policy payout is $3,000. So again, if there is two claims, one for $2,000, another claim for $2,000, the maximum the plan would pay would be $3,000. The cost of this plan for InterNACHI members is $20. If you're an InterNACHI member and you're also insured by Elite, there's another 10% discount. So it's $18 if you're an InterNACHI member, and insured by Elite, it's $20 if you're an InterNACHI member. Non-InterNACHI members pay $22. The third plan is the InterNACHI Master Plan. This is only available to inspectors who are CMIs and insured by Elite. And it's the same coverage as the Pro Plan. The difference is the aggregate is $10,000. So it will pay out multiple claims up to $10,000 per property. So that's the big difference. The cost of this plan is $32, and you have to be a CMI, you have to be insured by Elite. There's no further discounts. Some other information, all three plans cover single-family homes, condos, and townhomes. The term is 90 days from closing or 120 days from the inspection, whichever comes first. They all have a very easy online claims process, and as I discussed, it's all administered by Elite Inspection Warranty, with 25 years experience in handling inspection claims. And as I mentioned, there are discounts for both InterNACHI members and additional discounts if you're Elite insured. So positioning, what really is how do you use the program? It's really for customers. It's a way to set your service apart. Most inspectors, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, are including it as part of their standard services. It really reinforces the inspection quality that you're offering. There's broad protection. We're going to go into some of the how it stacks up with our competition, but it's really the best in the industry, best in class. It's a very easy claims process. And we always like to reinforce that the client data is never shared. So purchasing warranty is not a stepping stone to us contacting the customer to sell them anything else like utilities or handyman services. We do not share the client data. For agents, it's additional credibility. So when they're recommending you, they can say, and I recommend, Kathleen Kuhn Inspections. One of the things they do is they offer an inspection warranty. So it adds that additional credibility to that recommendation. Again, inspires confidence, knowing that if something should happen, within those first few weeks of home ownership, that they would be covered. And again, it's an easy claims process. So happy customer, happy realtor. Now, how do we stack up between some of the more common programs that are out there? Very, very well. Again, we did a very, very deep dive. That's really kind of what I'm trying to point out in, what makes us different. So RWS 90-day plan, which excludes appliances of any kind or systems over 10 years old. Of course, we don't have that with our Pro plan. We pay up to $2,250 again with the Pro plan. We have no deductible or service fees. The customer uses any licensed contractor. So this is a repair reimbursement plan, which means the customer gets the contractor, they submit the invoice, and we agree to pay it. We may ask them to get several other invoices, but we don't get involved. We don't send out our own service technician. It's really a reimbursement program. Now we cover 90 days from closing or 120 days from the inspection. The RWS plan is 22 days after closing. It's a $500 maximum for most claims. Obviously, they share the data. And there's been some service issues reported. So we don't share the data. We've got a strong claims handling background. And for those who are in Canada, the fees are charged to the inspector in local currency, which is not the case with RWS. How we compare to the complete home warranty. That's another popular program. They have no roof, no mold option, 95, 950 maximum on most, actually for some claims. Most of them are much lower than that. It's actually $200 average for most, for some of the smaller appliance claims. There's just a lot of exclusions. It's 120 days after the inspection or 30 days after closing, whichever is later. So again, it's a basic program, but even I think if you compared that to our basic program, you're going to find that it's a stronger offering through Elite or InterNACHI. The Home Gauge Protect program, which is a solid program. I keep on jumping ahead here. Sorry about that. Again, we're 90 days from closing. They're 30 days from closing. We've got a $3,000 aggregate. They're $2,500 aggregate, $2,250 for most claims. They've got a $1,000 limit for HVAC. They've got a $2,500 limit for foundation and roof leak. Again, we don't have any deductibles. I don't think they have a deductible either. No exclusion for appliance age, and we don't share the client data, although I don't think they do either. But the price, of course, for Home Gauge Protect is also $22 versus $20 or $18. All right, so the warranty form, we have a warranty form that shares the terms and conditions for all three plans. And we can actually add your logo to those. So leave that information so you can use that to distribute to your clients. I will talk about operationally. We distribute one to your clients as well. In addition, we have several marketing resources, which have been very well received. We have a basic flyer that can go to a realtor or a consumer. We have a what's covered, which is for the pro plan. So we have a version of that for the pro plan and the master plan. And it's a nice breakdown of what's included versus what's not included. That's probably the piece that most inspectors are using with their customers. If you're doing a home buyer trade show, we've got a banner, so we can send you that artwork. You can purchase that through Staples or through Vistaprint. We also have a agent office talk. So if you're doing a lunch and learn, we've got the deck created for that already. It can be branded to your company, and we've got the script, and we provide that as well. So operational details. So you register your each property, you pay on a per property basis, and you create an account at eliteinspectionwarranty.com/InterNACHI. You submit your inspections simply by adding their client name, email, phone number. You can also upload a CSV file of multiple properties. As I said, you pay on a per property basis. You put your credit card in. The program then distributes the terms and conditions to the client. So once we register a customer, we then reach out to the customer and say, hey, Kathleen Kuhn Home Inspections has provided this warranty for you. Here are the terms and conditions. So they get another terms and conditions, which we can confirm they got from us. Here's a link to report claims. If you have any questions, come to us. So the concept is that, and this is what's been happening, is that if they've got a claim, they come to us. So it's our claim. They deal directly with us. And again, we may have to reach out to the inspector. We may have questions. We usually, if needed, we ask the client for a copy of a report. If they don't have it, again, we might have to reach out to the inspector. Again, the marketing resources, logos you can put on your websites, those terms and condition forms, the agent flyers. We also have social posts. We have a draft announcement to agents in your marketplace, and the agent talk are all available on that website. Or you can just request them from warranty@elitemga.com, which comes to me, and I'll be happy to forward those to you. All right, I'm going to jump into some of the questions that I get. I'm sure I won't cover all of them, but I'll probably cover many that are floating around your minds right now. Do I have to register a warranty for every home I inspect? No, you don't. Most inspectors are. They're including it as part of their base service. But if you do offer the warranty as an option, it's just important that you make it clear that the warranty is an option and not included with every inspection. So that's really more of a marketing suggestion. You don't want to have the warranty all over your website, and you don't want to present or misconstrue to the consumer that that's included when it's not. So that's really the only thing to consider if you are offering it as an option. Some inspectors will offer it as part of a package. Again, that's fine. Most inspectors are just including it, but the choice is yours. Are there additional discounts if I am insured by Elite MGA? Yes, you get an additional 10% discount. So it's $20 as an InterNACHI member, $22 if you're not InterNACHI, and $18 at least for the Pro Point. There's no further discount on the basic package. That's $12 for everybody. The CMI, you have to be a CMI, is $32, no further discount. But on the Pro plan, you get a additional 10% discount as an Elite insured. Are very old appliances covered? They are, if you're using the Pro or Master Plan and assuming that they were inspected and working at the time of the inspection with no noted deficiencies beyond age, they would be covered. Can I give a warranty to a home seller on a pre-listing inspection? Right now, this is a buyer's only. It's actually the coverage actually triggers the closing, or the closing triggers the coverage term. So it is not available to sellers on pre-inspections. What if the home buyer doesn't buy the home? If the home buyer doesn't buy the home and uses you again for another inspection, you can request that the warranty be credited or transferred to the new property. You just have to send that request to me. So if they don't use you again, then there's not much we can do about that. But if they use you again, and you would encourage that, obviously, they were pleased with you the first time, we can then credit the, basically, transfer the original warranty to the new location, to that buyer. Does the client have an option to extend the warranty when the term is up? I get this question a lot, and the answer really is not yet. So we've had many inspectors ask this. We've actually had several realtors ask about that. So we are working on that. We're working on a subsequent warranty product that once the InterNACHI inspection warranty that term is up, that they can then opt for additional warranty coverage. What is the term? It's 90 days from closing or 120 days from the date of the inspection. That's really important because most of the plans that are out there are either 90 days from the inspection date or 22 or 30 days from closing. So it's 90 days from closing or 120 days from the date of the inspection. How long do I have to register a property? This is an important question. I've had inspectors that miss this. So you have up to 7 days from the date of the inspection to register the property. So after that, you can't register property. I've had a few inspectors here or there said, I missed it, yesterday. So yes, we can accommodate here and there, but it's important to get into the practice of registering the properties within 7 days of the date of the inspection. How do I get my discount for being insured by Elite? It's a great question because the system actually is looking at your email address to apply that discount, and it'll do it automatically. And when you first create your account, you need to use the email address that's associated with your InterNACHI membership and your Elite insured account, if you will, because the system is going to verify that you're an InterNACHI member, and then it's going to see that you're Elite insured, and it's going to apply the discount that way. The program is live in Canada. So this question comes up from our Canadian inspectors. Do Canadian inspectors pay in US or Canadian dollars? Canadian inspectors pay in Canadian dollars. So we don't ask them to pay for that bump in the US dollar. Doesn't cost them more. Does the program cover new construction? It does not. It does not cover never occupied new construction homes. They're not included. Do all my inspectors have to be CMIs to offer the master plan? Yes. So if you've got one inspector who's a CMI and several others that are not, then I would recommend you use the Pro plan. You have to be everybody has to be a CMI to offer the master plan. How are most inspectors paying for the program? So I speak to inspectors every day. We have this conversation every day. At $18 or $20, again, the Pro plan is hands down the most popular. About 90% of the warranties we sell are the Pro Plan, and most inspectors are including it with every inspection and increasing their fees by at least the cost of the plan. Some, and I've spoken to many inspectors, if they haven't raised their fees in a while, they're going to use this to do a bigger increase, because it's a really easy way to talk about, you know, now I'm increasing my fees, but I'm obviously adding this program to my services. But if inspectors haven't been consistently raising their fees, then they're just going to raise their fees by, you know, that $20. So it really depends on where you are in the marketplace, and, you know, how long it's been since you've raised your fees. But it is a nice, you know, from a consumer standpoint, consumers understand warranties, they understand guarantees. It's a very clean marketing message, if you will. So it's one of those value adds that you really get a direct value out of, because consumers do understand it. Will getting a warranty claim increase my insurance premium? It's a great question. And the answer is absolutely not. On the contrary, when a warranty claim is covered, it'll likely reduce your exposure. And of course, Elite, especially if you're insured by Elite, but either way, is highly motivated to resolve the issue so it doesn't escalate. So no, this is really a, you know, it's a marketing tool, but it's also a risk management tool as well. If I couldn't inspect an item, will it still be covered? No. The program absolutely is tied to the inspection, you know, and only what's been inspected. So only items that have been inspected and reported to be free of defects are covered. Are you integrated with ISN or Spectora? No, we're working on it. We certainly want to make it as easy as possible. It's probably unlikely that we're going to actually be integrated with ISN, because this is really a direct competitor to what they're offering. And every day I've got inspectors that have been, you know, paying RWS and are jumping over to the Elite program for a multitude of reasons. Yeah, so it's probably unlikely we'll be integrated anytime soon with ISN, but Spectora we're working on. How do I get marketing materials? Again, they're on the website, though you know, very happy to send you an email with a link to all of them. No problem. You can either get me at warranty@elitemga.com or kkuhn@elitemga.com. And can I get a copy of the terms and conditions with my logo on it? Yes. Again, send your logo to me and let me know the plan that you're using, and we'll get that created for you. Do I get notified when there is a claim? And the answer is no, not really. I mean, I don't want to say it's our problem, but it's our problem. So unless we have questions, you are not going to be notified.
Part of what we're trying to do is take this problem off of your plate with the warranty program. And so the idea is that you go about running your business and doing the things that are important relative to, you know, keeping your business healthy, and we'll take care of this issue for you.
Exactly. All right. Well, we've only been a few months into the program, but I did get this great testimonial, so I'm going to share it. When InterNACHI implemented their home warranty program, I jumped at this. What a great product. I include the warranty with every inspection now. One of my customers just received an $1,800 check for a water heater that went bad 1 month after she moved in. It was a full reimbursement. It was a 12-year-old water heater. This has been a great tool when speaking with realtors and customers. It is a no BS warranty. It works and gives you great credibility. Awesome advertising tool too. So that's exactly what we were hoping the outcome would be. So we're happy to have those testimonials. And I realize that I don't have the rest of my phone number there, so I will give that to you. So to get this information, to start registering warranties, you would go to eliteinspectionwarranty.com/InterNACHI. If you have any further questions, you can email me at kkuhn@elitemga.com, and my phone number, and you'll reach me directly, and I actually answer it, is 484-552-3511. So we've got a lot going on in the chat. So I am going to stop sharing and jump in and see if we can answer all those. Let's see. All right. I think you're answering your own questions, which is great. Okay, here we have, let's see. What would stop a buyer from filing a claim with this warranty and still filing a claim against the home inspector if we don't have insight into claims? What would stop a buyer from filing it? Well, I don't know. I'll let Joe handle that one.
In terms of actually being able to make a claim against you, the warranty could not prevent that, except to the extent that it's a repair issue or something that is fully covered by the warranty amount, and the claim is eliminated that way. But understand, when you give somebody a warranty, the warranty holder is the person who is able to make a claim. Under your insurance policies, you would be the first party. Here they are. But in terms of, yeah, no, that's not really an issue for us.
Yeah, and I have inspectors that will say, oh, I heard my customer submitted a claim. What's the status? We respond to that all the time. So, you're
Yeah.
certainly, it's not super secret. But in the perfect world, they're going to come to us. It'll be resolved. And, as Joe said, you go back to building your business and doing what you do. So, but if there's
Yeah.
any questions or if a customer does call you, we're here to work with you on that. Again, I
Yeah.
talk to all the time about that.
And understand, because of the warranty has a limited amount of money available, right? And so the pro, for example, caps out at 2,250, Kathleen, or 3,000. And so, with that in mind, a claim that somebody wants to bring that's for a new roof, for example, or something much more substantial than $3,000, the warranty will cover $3,000 worth of the problem that's covered by the warranty. But no, there's no mechanism where we can prevent them from bringing a claim against you. That they would still be able to do that. At that amount of money, it's not going to prevent a claim for $30,000, for example. But they will, if they do receive, money under the warranty. If they were to bring a claim, they would have to account for that they had been, they were paid the $3,000 under the warranty, and they wouldn't be able to double dip, so to speak.
Okay, let me get some, let's see. So there's no calls to clients. Yes, to verify, there's no calls to clients. What if the dishwasher is full of dishes at the inspection and I don't run it? Is it covered? If you said it's working, yeah.
If you didn't inspect it, and I saw this question, I think, before in the chat too. If it's, and I know Kathleen mentioned it on one of the slides, if it's not something you were actually able to inspect, then it's not going to be covered by the warranty. So if you went in the home and said, I'm not inspecting it, I'm not going to run the dishwasher through a cycle because it's loaded with dishes, then it's not inspected. And similar, for any item that, as an inspector, if you can't inspect it and it usually is inspected, you're going to note the reason why right in your report. And so anything that you can't inspect, we can't warrant it because you didn't inspect it.
And I think if the inspector makes a mistake and says it was, working and inspected,
that's different. Yeah.
We're going to cover it. That's different. And I always say to inspectors, I said, now, if that happens a lot, we might not be selling warranties through you anymore. But it's there really for the things that could happen that are unavoidable. And it really is there if the inspector also, has a bad day. Couple other questions about multifamily and aren't these claims covered? What about multifamily? It doesn't cover multifamily. So it's single family homes. So it does not cover, it might cover, and I should know this, but it might cover 2-family homes, but it's not beyond that. It's designed to really be, for $20 or $18, it's designed to be single family coverage. I can verify that. Aren't these claims covered by insurance anyway? That's a really great question, Travis. And the answer is they could be, but they generally are, these are generally the ones that would be under your deductible. So, it's a hot water heater. You generally, are you going to put a claim in for that? You might, and then it's $1,800 out of your pocket versus our pocket. So, so these do tend to be the smaller claims that would go under your deductible. This is a good question. I always leave this one. Yes. Oh, my email again is kkuhn, KKUHN at elitemga.com. I should lift that up. Condos and townhomes are covered. And this is a good Joe question. If I inspect a water heater and write in the report that it's older than 12 years old and recommend to replace, but it's working, will it be covered? Thanks, AJ.
It's a good question. If you found that it was working and didn't recommend further evaluation, so if you just go in and say, this is functional right now, as I'm looking at it, it's older, but it's functional today at the inspection. In that instance, it would be covered because you've told the client that it was functional now. But if you told them, I inspected it and I recommend that you have a plumber or someone else come and inspect this, or an electrician inspect some part of the electrical related to it. Once you make that recommendation to your client, then it's on, the obligation then becomes theirs to follow up. But if it's a simple issue where you inspected it, told them it was functional, and it turned out to not be functional within that 90-day window, then it would be covered. We've bought a few water heaters so far already. That seems to be the one, as far as the claims we've received, the water heater, and issues related to the AC and heating, mechanical issues, or it seemed to be the items that we most have claim payouts on.
Do we have to list the age of all appliances in our report? You don't. If it doesn't matter with the pro or master because it's covered anyway. For the basic one, you don't either. But if it's determined that the system is beyond the coverage age, then it wouldn't be covered. Is this used in lieu of the buyback guarantee or in conjunction? Well, that's your personal choice, but absolutely, it can work in conjunction. It's not designed to replace it. It's really very different coverage.
Yeah, it's dramatically different in terms of what the buyback is the purpose of that is versus something like this.
Yep. Oh, I get this question all the time. Is Elite insurance available in Canada? No, Elite still doesn't offer E&O in Canada. Working on it. I know that's a big question.
Yeah, you would be amazed the amount of hurdles put in front of us to make that happen in Canada.
Yep, I
but we were able to get the warranty program in.
Yeah, so it does work for Canadians, just like it would work for any other customer that wasn't insured by Elite. So you don't have to be insured by Elite to offer the inspection warranty. If you are, there's additional discounts, but you don't have to be. So for Canadians, it would work the same way since none of them are insured by Elite right now. Do you have a CSV template for mass uploads? It's actually on the website, but if you email me, I can get that to you as well. When you start registering warranties, there is a template there that you can use. Great questions. All right. If you put in a question earlier that we didn't get to,
I tried to hit them as you were going, Kathleen. So there's some that I answered, and a lot of them you answered as you went through the slides.
Okay. How do I get billed? So you're gonna when you go to the website and you create your account, you're going to put in a credit card, and then that credit card will get pinged every time you register a warranty. Okay, here's a okay, so this is my standard comment. Will it be a problem with the warranty? What if you recommend further review on a licensed electrician for a minor repair, like broken, cracked electrical elbow on water heater? It gets repaired. Would it then be covered? If it gets repaired, would it then be covered? We wouldn't know.
Well, that particular repair that's made as a result of you making a recommendation to your client, we can't warrant that repair person's, skill and good work on that. So, but if you're asking if you recommended a repair on something and there was an issue, a different issue with that same water heater, would it be covered? Then yes, it would, depending on the issue.
Yep. Any thoughts on recall check? I have a lot of thoughts on recall check. But yeah, and actually there is an alternative to recall check. You can go to fixelhome.com. That's kind of a new app that's available. They're trying to work that out. I worked with them for quite some time. But that is an alternative if you're looking for that. There is a question, Stephen. Yep, that's right. There are questions. There's a Q&A on the warranty site as well. Okay, if I get billed, and this has happened, if I get billed the incorrect amount, how would I go about that? That would come to me. Just reach out to kqn@elitemga.com. We'll get that resolved very quickly. If the home sale falls through after 7 days, then if the consumer uses you again for an inspection, then you can request that we put the warranty in under the new property. And I mean, there's no further credit than that, but hopefully they're going to use you again and buy another house within 30 days, and then we will give them the warranty, or we'll move the original one you paid for to the new one. Link to the website. Oh, Fixel. Oh, sorry, that one. That's FIXLE home.com. FIXLE home.com. Let's see. How does your sewer line protection work? We don't offer a sewer line protection at this time.
There are some questions in the Q&A if you guys haven't noticed those.
Oh yeah, thanks. All right. Do you have marketing info that's easily added to our websites? We have logos. We have a generic consumer site, which we're working on, but it's live now. So we can certainly, again, if you email me, I can send you that information. Appliances are inspected, but not in depth. The dishwasher's run. We can't know if it's actually cleaning well or heating. Same with stovetops. That's, if you said they're inspected and working, we're covering it. We certainly understand that you don't know if it's working to manufacturer's specifications. So Joe, this is a question. So they're saying, Christian is saying that they say it's working, but they don't know if it's working to manufacturer's specifications. Would we cover that?
If the inspector says it's working, but I'm not sure if it's working according to manufacturer specifications with nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would still be covered.
I would think
I mean, it's not, the way we approach it is, the same way the InterNACHI standards work when you identify a material defect or, whatever it is in your state, if you're in a state that's regulated. If you make the recommendation that it needs to be evaluated or further, reviewed or repaired, then that's not going to fit within the scope of the warranty. But if it's a situation where you said it's functional at the time and didn't make a recommendation to your client to take some further action about it, then we would likely cover it. It's hard to do specifics when we talk in generalities about, what happens if this, then that, but the philosophy generally is that if it fits within the warranty, we pay it. And we don't wait around to pay it. We don't have a lot of battles about whether we're paying it. We want it off your plate and off ours. And let your client, go back to enjoying their new home.
Okay, a couple of them, I'm going back and forth here. We don't have a QR code that they can add to their website, but that's a great idea. The roof protection is for as long as the overall protection. So it's 90 days from closing or 120 days from the inspection. Link, let's see what else. Okay, thanks, AJ. What data are we uploading? Oh, how are we billed? You're billed on every time you submit or register a warranty, you're billed at that time. It's not monthly, it's per property. What data are we uploading? Client name, address, Yeah, client name, address, email, date of inspection. You do not have to upload the inspection report.
We request those when someone does submit a claim. Our first response to them, depending on what it is they're alleging, is usually to ask them for a copy of your report, as well as any, repair proposals they've received relative to the repair issue that's the basis of the claim.
So this is a good question from James. Regarding an item being defect-free, a common defect on an AC unit is the coolant line that's not properly wrapped. So would we basically cover the AC even though that coolant line wasn't properly wrapped and would be considered a deficiency?
Not if the repair issue was not related to the
That's what I'm thinking.
line set or the coolant line itself. So if, for example, if you said, you make a recommendation to their client that they need to have a contractor or a repair person come out and, properly wrap the coolant line, and it turns out there's a problem with the compressor or the coil, that's likely to be covered by us.
Daniel has a good question. In this case, first inspection he does is a newer condo, less than 10 years old. Second inspection he does for a different client is 20 years old, and single family home. The third inspection is $1 million plus home. Could I opt for give the townhome customer a basic inspection, the single family home customer a pro inspection, and the $1 million home a master plan? You absolutely could. You could go in
Sure.
and choose whatever program you want, because you register the warranties on a per property basis. So if you want to do some basic, some master, some pro, yep, great question.
Yep.
With the buyback guarantee, the home must be occupied by the seller. Is that the case here? Good question.
Well, it's true that they're the seller when they present the buyback, because then they're going to sell it to us.
Right.
I also manage the buyback program for InterNACHI, but I want to see the question because I want to make sure I'm answering it correctly.
Yeah, James, he's in the Q&A.
Yeah, I see it here. There we go. Home must be occupied by the seller. Is that the case here? I don't believe that's a requirement, that they are moved in prior to, but I'll take a look at that for you while we're talking.
Okay, I get this on a regular basis. I don't think we say anything about the owner, the buyer
No.
actually being the homeowner. I know it is intended for the inspector to pay for the warranty. Can we offer it and charge the client for the warranty? The client can't pay us directly for the warranty. So you can certainly make it an option and they can pay you, but you need to pay us. So we can't sell that warranty directly to the consumer. If I'm billed $20 for my the client does not see the $20 fee. So the question is, sorry, I'm like reading it and answering it quietly now. I mean, I'm engrossed in these questions. If I'm billed the $20 for the pro program, does my client see the $20 fee? They do not. For the comments about appliances, I usually say where noted relative to age or similar. Will that be an issue? No. If an item is replaced due to our recommendation, is a new appliance covered? No, because we're really going on what's in the inspection report.
That's right.
You stated to email you the company information logo to add to, how long will it take to be able to present to customers and realtors? I mean, I'll turn that around very quickly. So, I mean, you could start using the generic version tonight when you get off this call. But yeah, I mean, if you send me your logo, we'll have that turned around in a day or so. So the time frame is 120 days from the inspection. Would the clock ever start from closing? Absolutely. I mean, the only reason we've got the 120 days from inspection if it's a particularly long closing. So if you just do 90 days from closing and the closing's delayed, you know, you may be on the hook for 9 months, which is again rare. So that's the only caveat is that, you know, it's 90 days from closing. So it usually starts at 90 days from closing, but if they call us, you know, 4 months after closing, then we've got to go back and look at the date of the inspection because, you know, there's got to be some limit just in the case that there's a long delay for closing. Let me see another. Where do you find generic marketing materials? Yep, you can email me. We got that one on wear and tear. Are leaking toilets covered under plumbing? No, because they're leaking. The time frame is actually 120 days from the inspection. We covered that. Is the complete policy available to view? Absolutely, absolutely. Before you roll, it's on the website. All the terms for each plan, all the devils in the details. So review them. They're very clean. We really designed them to be, you know, very straightforward. So it's not complicated. Wouldn't offering this to a client as a pay option to the purchase make it a stronger? Yes, it would. And Joe, do you know off the top of the head why we can't have the client pay directly?
We
It's
can't,
really-
why because
Because then it's
the-
selling insurance, right?
yeah, exactly. Like that's part of the problem is in order for it to be an inspection warranty that's really just a warranty and not a policy of insurance, we have to offer it to you. And you pay the fee to us, but we can't sell it directly to the consumer. Not in this format. If we were to create an actual home warranty program that covers the full home and register it in every state, then we could sell home warranties to individuals and consumers, but not in this instance.
Let's see. One of the questions that comes up a lot is on, you know, the whether it's you know, we offer any 5-year roof coverage. We don't at this time. So our coverage is, again, it's not filled with a lot of holes, no pun intended. But yeah, at this point we do not offer a 5-year roof plan. Best Buy sells me warranty, they can still purchase. Yeah, I know. The Best Buy scenario though is believe it or not, but appliances on like equipment is very different than appliances on a service. So I was not clear. If the toilet starts leaking after you found the toilet was leaked during the inspection, yes, yep, that would be covered. I can't locate the policy on the website. It's under materials, but if you want to send me, if you want to just email me, and you could also email me at warranty@elitemga.com. I will get that to you because there's not like a specific link. Let's see. How do we get the exact closing date? You're not going to get the exact closing date. You will get that if there is a claim. You know, that's when we're going to find that. So you don't have to.
I can tell you, just generally speaking, we haven't had a claim come in yet that was beyond the 90 days because when they report the claim to us, they have to put in the inspection date. And so if it looks like there may be a chance where it's outside of that first tier of timing and we have to go to the closing date, then we'll request that information from your client.
Where exactly on the website is the located InterNACHI? So you've got to go to the /InterNACHI to get the, and I think once you're logged in, then there's materials. There's a section for materials. Actually, I believe the terms and conditions may even be under marketing materials. So you might have to go through it a little bit or just email me. Just to clarify, if an item is inspected and found, and that deficiency is found to be corrected at the inspection, is that now covered? No, we're going to go on. So example, we're back to a leaky toilet. If the leaky toilet is found to be repaired upon return, it would be covered moving forward. Okay. If your report said that it was a leaking toilet, we're going to go on your report. So it would not be covered.
Again, because we can't verify the nature of the repair that's made, which is usually by the seller, which makes it more problematic.
All right. I cannot look at the policy. Okay, just, yes, you can email me. Sorry about that. Excellent questions. Any other questions?
There was one here about whether
Uh-huh.
if we offer the warranty and they decide if they should the inspector tell the client they offer the warranty and let the client decide if they want it or not, and then the inspector can add it to the price like an ancillary service? I think the answer to that is generally yes. Yeah, if you wanted to do it that way, that's fine. As long as we're being paid by you and you're submitting the warranty, then sure.
So yeah, there was a question it was a good question about, they're all good questions, but, that what if they do a post-closing inspection? So let's just say they're in an environment where they had to waive the inspection. Now the customer has already owns a home. Would we cover that? Well, that's a Joe question.
Hold on.
So I guess 90 days from, I don't know. So if if the house closed already, Joe.
Right. The house closes, but you go out and do another home inspection on it for the buyer, like it's just the owner's inspection at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, generally speaking, it's, if it's been inspected by a participating inspection company, it's going to be covered. But because of the closing date issue, I believe that would probably, I can tell you, it's not set up for that purpose. It's the purpose of it is for the new buyer, not for somebody who owns the home now and wants to find out more of what's going on. The other reason that's a little bit different in the scenario presented is because, usually when you're going in to inspect the house before the buyer, you have a lot less ability to determine defects just because your client doesn't own the home and you can't move things and do other things. An inspection you can do for a current owner, you have a lot more latitude, to do a more in-depth inspection. But this is the way the program is set up, is to deal with the usual situation of you do the inspection for the buyer, they buy the house, they close, there's an issue with something that you inspected and identified as functional.
All right. Do all the functions of the washer, dryer, microwave need to be tested? Washers and dryers are not part of the coverage, so that's an easy answer. And no, it's really not that specific. If you recommend that if you say the microwave's, working at the time of the inspection, then it's covered.
As far as there's a question here about, is this really to help cover us for maybe an errors and omissions claim, but smaller? Well, yeah, I mean, because of the dollar limitation, it's ideal for limiting your exposure to something that would normally fall within your deductible, as Kathleen mentioned earlier. Another question, can you track a client's claim? You can ask us for information related to the claim, and we're happy to provide it to you at any time. These are usually turned around real quick, in large part because a lot of the warranty claims are for things that they need to actually live in the house, like water heaters. So these don't usually hang around too long. They're usually done with relatively quickly. We strive to respond to them the same day they're presented.
This is a good question. How does your service integrate with a full home warranty? So it doesn't. I mean, technically a consumer could double dip. So, there's no service fees, there's no, it doesn't, we don't even check whether they have a full warranty. So if their realtor or somebody gave them, a warranty, they could literally submit a claim for both parties. Again, we certainly I mean, technically we would cover their service fee because we might actually pay for the claim, but they don't go hand in hand. But they also don't contradict each other. So one doesn't negate the other. Why are washers and dryers not included? because competitively, they're not on many of the plans that are out there, number one. They're also not necessarily included as part of the real estate transaction. I know in some parts of the country or in Canada they are. So yeah, for competitive reasons and the fact that they're not a standard as part of the home inspection in across all regions. I'm guessing there's a full list of everything that's covered and things that
Yes.
are not. Yes, there is. There's both
The warranty forms, the warranty forms, as Kathleen pointed out, are available there for you to look at whether, before you submit any warranties or enrollment. And so you can see exactly what's covered there. And we were very careful to make sure that we tell people exactly what is covered and what is not. Now your clients still may submit a claim, and we do get claims for things that aren't covered by the warranty. We try to answer those as, immediately when they come in, so they know, that it's not part of the warranty. And then we give them a copy of the warranty and we point out to them, what parts are relevant. But you can look at those forms. The coverages differ a little bit, in terms of the amount offered from plan to plan. On the plans that are available to InterNACHI members, but you'll be able to see exactly what's covered.
Would a rusty drain pan on a water heater void the water heater warranty?
It's going to depend on the recommendation that you made to your client as a result of finding the rusty pan. The thing that's going to trigger it to make the obligation theirs is if you're telling them they need to have somebody come out and further evaluate that water heater. So if you tell them they need a plumber to come out and fully evaluate the water heater, the onus is on them, as we know with inspections, because of the limitations on an inspector's ability to find defects, that it's not always the case where the client is going to follow your recommendations. And we're not warranting, we're not providing a warranty for them to ignore what's in your report and to just go ahead with life. So if you make a recommendation to them to have that further evaluated, as we know, when a specialist comes and looks at that system or component, they may look at it much differently, and they may find things that a home inspection wouldn't find. And that's the purpose of your recommendation. So if they're not going to follow your recommendation, then we can't warrant that, in this case, that water heater.
So it's a similar question. What if you recommend clean and check a furnace? Well, no, this is a good question. They're all good questions. What if you recommend to clean and check a furnace? Would the AC still be covered?
Yes. If you report that the systems are functional and you're just making a general recommendation that, a homeowner ought to have regular maintenance on the cooling and heating systems, that's not going to void the warranty. And especially if you make a recommendation about the furnace, that's not going to affect any decision on the cooling system.
All right. And just a little shout out to my son, who I just realized he just texted me that he's on, and he didn't ask me any annoying questions. So I appreciate that, Ryan. So you're right. We're just about at an hour. And just to, again, either email me at warranty@elitemga.com or kkuhn@elitemga.com. And we will, I'll respond and get that out to you, get whatever you need out to. And if I can help you out, I will point you in the right direction.